Were you taken by surprise by the Prime Minister's praise?
Oh, absolutely. I was taken by surprise. I was, in fact, confused for a while. I did not believe that it was Modi ji's account initially. And we had a conversation here at home. We were trying to figure if this was true, and it took a long while for me to come to terms with it. And then I pinched myself. I thought, okay, the Prime Minister tweeting a song that was rendered by me is something huge. I'm elated at this. I'm so happy.
Quite interesting, but one can relate to the thoughts that went through your head. You said at first you even wondered if it was indeed the Prime Minister's Twitter handle, or whether it was maybe a parody account or somebody playing a prank on you. When somebody like the Prime Minister of the country praises you, I can understand that those thoughts would go through your head. But what do you think this encouragement coming from none other than the Prime Minister for artists like yourself, musicians like yourself, really mean?
For a long time, I have been working on serving this country, on training the young of Bharat in our culture, music, dance, art, any form of the 64 arts that Bharat has offered us. So this has been my goal, and I've been trying to do that through my organization. And such words of encouragement from a man of this stature, like Modi ji, it definitely adds to the responsibility, and it encourages me to work harder and to make me believe that what I believe in, what I want to do is possible, and I can be successful in doing that. Because artists today, especially musicians, Indian musicians from the South, are striving so hard to establish their presence globally. And it is very important for artists like us to have such encouragement from people like Modi ji, from great men, to encourage us to perform even better, to take this across the globe, to make Bharat proud of its culture and tradition.
It is interesting, Sivasri, that you talk about how the Prime Minister's recognition for an artist like you will go a long way in helping you establish your presence. It's often a struggle, as you said, for artists and musicians who don't always get the kind of support that they need to establish their careers, to take their voices to the people. And you talked about establishing a global presence, but fact of the matter is that if you sing in Kannada, chances are that there are many people even in this country, north of the Vindhyas, who've not heard you and your mellifluous voice before. And therefore, perhaps it is a great way now for you to reach out to millions of listeners, not just abroad, but right here in India.
Absolutely, that's a very good point. That's true. I have sung in many languages, but like you said, for the song to reach the different corners of this country itself, it needs a push like this from somebody like the Prime Minister, of anybody of that stature. So it is very important, and I'm glad. I was fortunate enough, I was lucky enough to be one of the very few artists whose music has been shared by the Prime Minister, because it has been a struggle. It has been years of hard work. It has been years of sadhana that has gone behind music, because if not for the sadhana, we are no one. And for him to recognize not just the music, but he, along with the music, recognizes the years of hard work that has gone behind the rendition of any music, for that matter. So I'm extremely happy. I'm on cloud nine that effort finally pays off. I literally saw that today. So I'm on cloud nine.
You're on cloud nine, and for you to say, a young musician to say effort does pay off, and the recognition has come from none other than the Prime Minister, it's heartening. I think for anyone listening to you saying this, I think it would be a message and a source of encouragement and motivation to many others like you. Before we continue with this conversation, and I am enjoying this conversation, Sivasri, but you're a wonderful singer who's now been recognized by the Prime Minister, so we can't not have you sing on the show. So before we go any further with this conversation, if you could please sing some snatches of this beautiful song that caught the Prime Minister's attention, our viewers will love it.
Definitely, that's my pleasure. ಒಲಿದರು ಚೆನ್ನ ಮುನಿದರು ಚೆನ್ನ ನಿನ್ನ ಸೆರೆಯೇ ಬಾಳಿಗೆ ಚೆನ್ನ ನಾನಿನ್ನ ಪಾದದ ಧೂಳಾದರೂ ಚೆನ್ನ ನಾನಿನ್ನ ಪಾದದ ಧೂಳಾದರೂ ಚೆನ್ನ ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸು ನನ್ನ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ತೆರೆಯೋ ಬಾಗಿಲನು ರಾಮ ತೆರೆಯೋ ಬಾಗಿಲನು ರಾಮ ಪೂಜಿಸಲೆಂದೇ ಹೂಗಳ ತಂದೆ.
Okay, that's very beautifully sung, Sivasri. That really is beautifully sung. Thank you for that beautiful rendition. And like we've discussed, thanks to the Prime Minister and the fact that now you're on, national television singing this song for viewers and listeners across the country, I'm sure your voice will touch the hearts of many people around this country and around the globe as well. Now, let's for a moment talk about this very important Pran Pratishtha or consecration ceremony of Ram Mandir that's coming up in Ayodhya on the 22nd of January. As you know, the entire country is excited. Massive preparations are underway. The Prime Minister and so many dignitaries are going to be in attendance. First and foremost, because, even this recognition for you has come in the run-up to this big event. What does the 22nd of January mean to you personally?
Even if this hadn't happened, the 22nd of January is something that would have been very, very close to my heart because I've heard from my grandparents, I've heard from people of their generation, the amount of work that went behind getting this or making this happen today. So I've heard the effort that has gone behind this, and I have been one of those many Bharatiyas who have been waiting for this historical moment. I would literally celebrate every Jan 22nd as the second Deepavali. So it is very close to my heart. And though Prabhu Sri Ram is a king from Ayodhya, from the north of India, I feel he is a part of every single human's heart. He resides inside our heart, a pan India, pan globe. And we have all grown up chanting his name, we've been taught that there's nothing greater than the Prabhu Shri Ram Nam. So it is the Taraka mantra for all of us, and for a historic occasion like this, when Ram Lalla is coming back home to Ayodhya, it is such a wonderful, wonderful day that we are all looking forward to, and it is a day that we'll cherish forever. And every Jan 22nd will be Deepavali for me. Absolutely.
This is going to be a red letter day, no doubt about that. For all devotees of Lord Ram, including yourself, you're saying it's going to be the second Deepavali. So let me ask you this, and again, we have to get you to sing. If you had an opportunity to perform in Ayodhya, maybe at Ram Temple itself, what's that one Ram Bhajan that you would want to sing there? Our viewers would love to hear that song from you. And you can pick any language.
Sure. And since he's Ram Lalla, it would be Thumak chalat Ramachandra, Thumak chalat Ramachandra, Bajat Panjaniya, Thumak chalat Ramachandra, Bajat Panjaniya, ठुमक चलत रामचंद्र खिलकी खिलकी उठत दाय गिरत भूमि लटपटाय किलकी किलकी उठत दाय गिरत भूमि लटपटाय धाय मात गोदले तो दाय मात गोदले तो दशरथ की रानिया ठुमक चलत ठुमक चलत ठुमक चलत रामचंद्र.
That's beautiful. And you know, as we hear you sing, we also have those visuals playing on the other side of the screen of the Prime Minister performing prayers. As you know, the Prime Minister is performing prayers every day in the run up to that big event that everyone is looking forward to. And that song was absolutely beautiful and breathtaking, Sivasri. So let me ask you this. You know, while we're talking about, you said, Lord Ram is returning home. That's what's going to happen on the 22nd of January. With the Prime Minister promoting so many artists and musicians like yourself and craftsmen around the country, given that so much has gone into the building of this grand Ram Mandir, what do you think this mega event and the government's push, the Prime Minister's personal push to it, means for, let's say, the revival of Indian arts, music and culture? Because a lot of us complain that over the years it seems to have got lost somewhere.
So I personally feel, and I have also said this in many of my concerts, that these days bhakti has been separated from art, from Indian art. I mean, it was an integral part of art, and that was the main reason why art even evolved in India. So I feel bhakti is a very important emotion that should be there in every individual, be it to any lord for that matter. So this bhakti has been separated from the art, and this push from the prime minister or from the government or from any major body, from any major institution, will really help us in making, in reviving this art and weaving it with the bhakti that it deserves. So we have all the sahityas that we have today. We have the different compositions of different sons pan India today because of the only essence, which is bhakti. And I feel our Prime Minister, by doing everything that he has done over the last 10 years, has greatly, greatly contributed to this factor, that is bhakti in the young of Bharat. Because I feel the next generation is starting to realize the importance of Indian culture and tradition, which is interwoven with bhakti, and this is what makes Bharat Bharat. And a prime minister's tweet like this about artists, about different cultures, he visits so many states, he visits so many cities, so many villages, and brings out the tradition, brings out the culture of that particular village, and brings it to the rest of the country so that they get to know about this. So this is very important in reviving our culture, our art, our tradition, and most importantly, bhakti.
Revival of our arts, our music, our tradition and our bhakti. That's very interestingly put. There is no doubt that what we're going to see on the 22nd of January in Ayodhya will be a perfect confluence of everything that you've just mentioned, which is why it is so special, not just to devotees of Lord Ram, but to musicians like yourself. So we have to have another beautiful song from you, Sivasri. Any song that you want to sing as we count down to that big day, the Pran Pratishtha ceremony on the 22nd of January. I don't know if you're going to be physically present there that day, but I'm sure that when the right opportunity presents itself, you would want to visit this grand temple in Ayodhya. So with your thoughts focused on that big ceremony, please do sing another beautiful song for our viewers.
Sure. No doubt, I definitely want to be at Ayodhya, visiting the Ram temple sometime, taking darshan of Ram Lalla, and I would sing this as a prayer to Ram, to Prabhu Shri Ram, so that he listens to me and calls me to Ayodhya someday. Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhaj Manas हरण भव भय दारुणम् श्रीरामचन्द्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणम् नवकञ्जलोचन कञ्जमुख करकञ्जपदकञ्जारुणम् श्रीराम 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 श्रीराम.
Okay, so clearly sung from the heart and the soul. Very, very beautiful indeed. But let me ask you this question, Sivasri. Even though we say that music knows no barriers, in your personal experience, does language become a barrier sometimes? Like I said, you know, you've sung this beautiful devotional song in Kannada, which may not have reached a lot of people in North India till the time the Prime Minister tweeted about it and praised it. Do you think it has been a barrier and that we need to work towards dissolving those barriers? Because we're a very diverse country. We're a melting pot. We have countless languages and cultures here. So while it can be a uniting factor, do you also see it as a barrier that we need to work towards lifting?
To be honest, I have never seen it as a barrier. Like you said, yes, it has reached many more people after Modi ji has tweeted, and definitely people from the north of Bharat. But I feel in so many years of singing, I have had so many people from Bihar, from Nepal, from different parts of this country also, and from outside the country, who don't know, who have absolutely no idea about the language in which I sing, because I have sung songs of many languages. I've sung in Odia, I've sung in Marathi, I've sung in Hindi, Bhojpuri, Sanskrit. I've sung in many languages, and I've seen that the audience only keeps widening, and they all have commented on my YouTube videos. They've come to me in person and they've told me that I did not understand a word in this song, but I was transported to a different world. It was transcendental. And I would be, initially, I used to feel shocked when people said this, because I was sure they wouldn't have understood a word, but they still were transported to a different plane, which from which I learned that it is not just the sahitya that goes and creates an impact on people, but it is just music itself. We just have to forget ourselves and sing for people to forget themselves and listen. So I feel there is absolutely no barrier because of language, because of which deity we sing about, but it is just the music that touches people.
Music that touches hearts. I agree with you 100%. Music knows no barriers. So, what is your message on this big occasion ahead of the Pran Pratishtha ceremony? What would you like to say to people watching your interview, Sivasri? And of course, who are now taking note of your music, especially this song. What would you want to say to your fans, listeners, and to people across the country?
I would love to say, as you already know, that hard work is the only thing that takes us forward in life. And youngsters that are watching me, I want you all to know that keep working, keep doing your sadhana without expecting anything in return. And one day, everybody, every single individual who puts in their heart and soul into what they do is going to be recognized, is going to be lauded, and there is no doubt about it. And especially when it connects to our own deities, when it connects to our Prabhu Shri Ram, when it connects to our Ram Lalla, there is he's known as the Karuna Sagara. So I feel when we just surrender to him and sing just even 2 lines on him, he is a pratyaksha devata there, and he will bless us all like he has blessed us with Jan 22nd. And I request all Bharatiyas to light diyas to celebrate Jan 22nd like with the same vigor that they would do Deepavali. So I really want this message spread across Bharat.
I think that is a very inspiring message indeed, very uplifting for young people, and words of profound wisdom there in what you just said. Before we let you go, finally, Sivasri, 2 lines of one more song for Lord Ram.
Absolutely. Rama 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 Sita Rama अमरपतिय दिव्यनाम अंदोदगतो राम 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 सीता रामायणी रामायणी
All right, that was very beautiful, Sivasri Skandaprasad. On that note, thank you so much for joining me here on News9 Live. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. More power to you and your voice.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.